that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good. That I don't.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. The chat is already here, live, active. Good morning to American Born. Don't stay away from me. American Born. Come in and take a seat. We have American Born. Good morning, Sandra Pease, Gen Extra. Good morning, CC, first moderator in the building. So good to see you. Welcome, Sandra Pease, Gen Extra. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to enjoy all the amazing content. As always, thank you so much, CC, for being here. Thank you so much. And good morning to myself, American Born, everyone else that is here in the building. Ophelia Burkhalter has come in. Welcome. Good morning, Sandra P. Good morning, Ophelia. Thank you so much for joining this Summer House Live. I watch the show on and off. I'm not an avid watcher. I don't like most of the people. I'm going to be covering the new In the City. We're only one episode in, and it's built on a very unlikable cast, but there's a few people I can pick out and watch. So I'm covering this because it's been news all year because Ciara is a queen. My little sis, my little online niece. I feel for her and what she allowed to happen to her. Ciara Boo, you should have saw this coming. Should have saw it coming. American Born, I know you watch. Ophelia, I'm not sure about you or CC, but luckily these two are so sloppy. All their business is out there. And this is a 3-part reunion. This is just part 1. And it's pretty good. Y'all, Andy shows up awake and alert and refreshed for certain reunions. So glad to see you, Andy Cohen. He showed up to work. Dear Yvette says, good morning, Sandra. Good morning to you, dear Yvette. She gives me a purple heart. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me during the live. Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be some great conversation. Yes, dear Yvette. I had to kind of calm myself down a little bit. Y'all know I try to give people grace and I try to be sweet to them. And the ones that deserve to get dragged, they'll get dragged, but there's a certain level that I don't go to. Amanda almost took me there. And on Reddit, y'all know they call this man, this unwashed legs, unwashed face, crust in his eyes. They call him West TD. So West TD is not liked on social media. He is a sports journalist, but I think his degree is in marketing, and he is almost mute. He sends Amanda out. He done wound this girl up and sent her out to kind of fight their battles. And Ciara is ready to rumble. So yeah, this is going to be a good conversation, dear Yvette. Absolutely. CC is saying good morning to dear Yvette, Ophelia, and American Born is speaking back to everyone that have come in. Good to see you, Mama Bees. Thank you so much for joining us during the live. And she came in and said, Grand Rising, Sandra P. Chat mods. Thank you so much for joining us during this live, Mama Bees. Great to see you. The reunion was fire. Y'all listen to American Born. It was. I actually watched it when they finally dropped it on Peacock. They do the extended. They don't take out any of the curses. There's no beeps or any of that, and no commercials. So it was a full hour. And as American Born confirmed, it was fire. I agree. It was. Ciara ate them up last night. She did. American Born, some of the narrative this morning on social media is that she's acting like the angry woman. And we know what they mean when they say that. They're not going to do that to my internet niece. She's not an angry woman. She's not an angry woman. Again, she has shown more emotion to an ex than I would like to see, but she's very young. For her, it's the friendship. She and Amanda, in her mind, have been friends, and she's taken up for and defended Amanda over the years at her mistreatment of Kyle, who's been cheating, doing everything that he wants to do before they got married. She still married him. Outwit, outplayed, outlasted, made it to the altar, and now she's got her long, sad face, wanting everybody to feel sorry for her, which they have done. And then we find out she is out here with the skeeviest guy in the house. So Mama Bees is giving her grand risings. TNT, G-Mom, it is so great to see you. It's been a little minute, but anytime you dip your head in and you drop in the chat and say hello, I love to see you. So good morning to you. She's speaking to myself and the chat. That is TNT, G-Mom, everybody. American Born is saying good morning back, and she's speaking back to everyone. Ciara said what she said. Shout out to Nene Leaks. Queen stuff. We know Ciara's future is so bright. She got to wear shades. She's got Dancing with the Stars. She had her glamour cover that Amanda and West TD they kind of tried to poop on her a little bit. They went to a baseball game and were out there kissing. Why aren't y'all watching the game? Amanda, you like football. You don't like baseball. What are you doing? Welcome in, Linda Gamble. It is so good to see you in the live. She's speaking to dear Yvette. And let me see what American Born. I was glad to hear that Mia broke up with that guy. She was saying, I didn't like him. Yeah, I'm glad. And then she got a little dig in too. She says, yeah, she's dating, but it's not good to hook up with someone else and go into another relationship right after you've broken up. And then Mia looks dead at Amanda and West TD, who is over there mute. West, talk. Don't just leave it to Amanda. Andy had to actually ask this man questions to kind of draw him out. I see what he's doing. I'm not going to let him slide. I know Amanda is rightfully catching a lot of heat. And for me, it's because she's the married person in this situation. That's the only reason why I would give Amanda more heat than West. But he's disgusting. This is your not best friend, but one of your friends. This whole house, remember, he came in late and they all took him under their wing. And now he does this. So Kyle and Amanda, Kyle, I would say the mama and papa of the house, only because they're married and everybody else is single and messing around. Now, Carl and Lindsay, Carl might be a dad of the group too, but he and Lindsay have been separated. She also has Love Island and the after show she'll host. Thank you, American Born. Yes, that is a bunch of things that Ciara has. I said, the future's so bright, she got to wear shades. Ophelia speaking back to everyone. A lot of crosstalk. Everyone is saying good morning. Good morning. Linda Gamble. I'm going to have to watch the reunion. I was watching the NBA playoffs last night. Linda Gamble, I got a text from my brother who he finally got his second residency in Mexico. So congratulations to my brother, Ricky. I'm going to be following his footsteps, y'all, but I haven't decided on a place yet. He loves where he's at in Mexico, but he was already on the West Coast. He was already in LA. So he's half there, half here. But he had texted me saying the Knicks are in the finals. So I've watched my brother's hearts get broken over the Knicks for years. Again, we're from Yonkers. And I think the last time they won a finals was like in the 70s. They played it in the movie Crooklyn with a little boy, the oldest one with the glasses. He's like, the Knicks are world champions. And Woody, the father, actually had a jazz performance the same night. And the brother chose to go to the finals. But it didn't mean anything to him because Woody was having his jazz event at the same time. A little bit of Crooklyn lore. West TD has the nerve to be doing a podcast. He is such a narc. American Born, I wish people would stop sharing them clips. He's not in my algorithm. My algorithm is Michael Jackson, a little bit of politics, Gen X type funny stuff. We were talking about Gen X kids walking everywhere and latchkey, that kind of thing. Riding our bikes, filling up our tire. And if you had some enterprising kids, they could even go to the store and get a new inner tube. April Morgan, good to see you. She's just waving at us. You've dropped down into the chat to say hello, and I'm glad to see you. Welcome in. This is Summer House, Part 1. American Born has already proclaimed it fire, and it is. Now, this season, it deserves a 3-part reunion. So, Andy, we need you to, when it needs 3 parts, give it 3 parts. Needs 2 parts, give it 2 parts. And CC is welcoming everyone in that comes in as we started. We haven't started yet. I'm just kind of getting a little bit of the energy out because the reunion was really good. I enjoyed Part 1. I watched it on Peacock. If you haven't watched it yet and you have Peacock, watch it on Peacock. It's really good. 7 likes and 11 in the live. Thank you, everybody, so much for the likes. Remember, treat it like a doorbell as you come in. Just click the like button for me, and I would appreciate that so much. Those of you that like to click it on leaving, you can do that too. But Team Replay, you are a very important part of my channel. I appreciate you as always. As you know, I engage in the comments and I'll answer in the comments. And you have access to hype feature, which is next to the like. So when you hype a video, it does keep me in the algorithm, and I appreciate that. Just as CC is saying, it helps me move up in the YouTube algorithm. And thank you so much. I'm going to go through, start a little bit of recap. We'll talk a little bit. As you know, I engage in comments. You guys will trigger my memory on certain other things because I was taking notes, but I was mainly looking at it like, are you serious? And get them, Ciara. Say that again. And then Amanda trying to get started. Amanda, I'm not going to drag you too badly. They're already doing that on Reddit. And I want to show her a little grace, but this is a married woman. And she didn't come in there. I mean, you don't have to come in there with your hat in your hand, but she came in there like, and she's sharing a dressing room with West TD. Oh, yeah. NBC Universal, y'all are trash for that. She doesn't have to share with Kyle, but she needed to have her own dressing room, and West needed to have his own dressing room. And I don't appreciate that at all. I don't like the way some people act like, the marriage is just that second. I don't like it. So we would start out with Lindsay and Kyle. They are sitting on the couch. This is in the city, one of the confessionals. They get the text. I guess reality TV people have alerts on their phone because they find out everything immediately. They're sitting on the couch for the new show in the city, which, by the way, I think these two are either going to blow it up or maybe we're not going to see it again, because I didn't love it. I think I said it was meh, gave it maybe a 7. So watch that review if you haven't. Again, the second episode, I think, comes on tonight. I'll watch it tomorrow. It's time to get on board if you'd like to. So they're on the couch. Y'all, I thought Kyle, as he was reading it, was going to throw up in Lindsay's lap. He's looking at it like he's reading this disgusting statement. And Jesse calls him. So he gets this call from Jesse. Carl is on the phone, or maybe Carl called Lindsay and Jesse called one of them. They have like everybody from Summer House ends up being on the phone while the two of them are shooting this new show. And the statement is ridiculous. And then somebody saying, well, you don't have your friend's wife of 10 years. And it's all this crosstalk. Lindsay wants to know, well, when does this start? And that's why these fools are trying to give us this timeline, receipts, proof, timeline, freaking everything. Shout out to Heather in Salt Lake City. We don't care about the timeline because I'm going to keep dropping this in. Amanda is a married woman to Kyle, not West TD. So we don't want to hear anything about the timeline. And I'll tell y'all right now, they lied like rugs about this timeline. They're telling us that when they did this statement, they hadn't slept together yet. Yep, that's what they said. That's what they said. But Amanda is such a liar. She forgot that the only reason they came public and made the statement because there was an intimate video that was going to come out and we had to say something. So Amanda, you can't have it both ways. Amanda needs a crisis publicist. She really does. West TD, I don't care what happens to you. But Amanda, she needs to get someone that's in her corner. West TD is not. American Born says Amanda lied about the timeline. Does she really think we believe them? She thinks that she's going to pout that lip and then probably, I need a break. And Kyle, y'all, she's melting Kyle's heart. That's her husband. And he knows things about her that we don't know. There's discussions on Reddit. There's things I've seen for myself that have made me extremely uneasy about the way I criticize Amanda. And I don't like to body shame or any of that. The most you'll get out of me, oh, long face, long back, Amanda. But Amanda's going through some other things too. That doesn't mean that she shouldn't put on a chastity belt and not sleep with her husband's friend. But I don't know. I got to be careful how I handle her. West TD, you going to get it from me and everybody else. Can't stand them. Linda says, Sandra P., I need to send you some info on Wendy and Eddie. Wendy has filed for a divorce. Linda Gamble, she getting ready to throw Happy Eddie right up under the bus. I'm on IG, and I would appreciate seeing you in my DMs with that information. And you know we're going to do an extra on it. You know it. Thank you, Linda Gamble. Like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video. American Born is looking at Linda. Excuse me. Y'all, I have to turn off this camera one moment, and then I'm going to continue with, as you know, I like to keep my house warm, and it's already, especially with the emotion of everything that's going on, it has me perspiring a little bit already, and we just started. Okay, so these two are sitting in the city couch on their new job, and these fools' sloppiness has spilled over into this next show. So they are reading the statement. It's only been a month since the end of Summer House. They've been screwing around, going back to at least summer of 2025, I believe. Again, Amanda's still married. Kyle is saying, well, somebody, finally, does anybody here know anything about it? Kyle's saying that she's hurting. And we keep seeing these dates that come up because remember, Amanda is also acting like Kyle because she's spending time away from him. It's causing her to be sad. But she's not telling us or anyone else that she's got this thing going on with West TD on the side. So this is crazy. So luckily, a lot of this is on film because these people they lie like rugs, and they would have lied about it. Like American Born said, do they really think we believe them? I don't believe them. I believe it was last summer as well. You can see how close they were on the season. Everyone, full disclosure, I didn't watch most of the season. I would dip in and out. American Born watched the season. And during the time, she was saying that something was going on. So AB already called them out and thought about it. So we go from that scene. I like how production cut, like with the statement to kind of show everyone, if you didn't already see it, what was said. The big glaring omission from the statement, they apologize to almost everyone, but except Kyle, who is Amanda's husband, yet and still, and Ciara, who is Amanda's very good friend. That's where the betrayal and hurt comes in. And then West TD, she messed around with him a little bit. She thought it was more serious than he ever admitted to. Now, she went to his family's home in St. Louis for Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not going to let West TD keep saying, all I ever wanted was something casual, when he knows that Ciara came on the show saying, I'm tired of being only casual. I want something real. And our hearts all went out to Ciara, who's always been guarded, and she's let her guard down a little, thankfully. So now we can embrace her. So as the people arrive, Carl's coming in like 6-something in the morning. Come on, Carl. And these people are acting like somebody died for real, y'all. Everybody's upset. So this unwashed leg Neanderthal, who is screwing his friend's long face, long back wife because she's jealous of Ciara. Make no mistake about it. Amanda pours herself out of the car at about 7:10, goes into a joint dressing room, not with her husband, with West TD, who's not her man either. Y'all, I can have compassion with her on that. This boy's gonna break her heart so bad. He doesn't value women. He doesn't care anything about women. And we can see it on the way he acts. He's not even protective of her. American Born says, okay, we said that. Linda Gamble says, West and Amanda were seeing each other around 2024 and 2025, according to the Bravo sector, allegedly. Linda Gamble, that makes even more sense. I think that finally gave Amanda the nerve, the strength, however you want to call it, to finally start spending more time away from Kyle and leave. Because Kyle was not a perfect husband. Nobody is. He wasn't even a good one, in my opinion. He was pouring a lot into Loverboy. They had the financial stresses. Amanda didn't, but he did. Because Amanda always had money and comes from money. And then he started DJing, with drinking and being out all night was one of the conflicts that they had. So he takes a career where you're drinking and you're out all night. American Born agrees about the timeline. So Linda's saying 2024, 2025. Remember, these two are saying nothing happened until the night of the statement, because she forgot she already told us that something had already happened. So everybody is showing up one at a time. Same dressing room, which kind of surprised me, but I shouldn't be surprised, for Amanda and West TD. So West is in there looking homeless. She asked him how he feels. West, are you going to ask about her? Remember, there's a mental thing that Amanda claims when she needs to. And I'm not minimizing that, but sometimes people, even if there is a mental issue, some people know how to weaponize it and use it to keep you up off them when you should rightfully be on them about something they've done. So she asked him how he is. This man says, I'm feeling pretty zen. And y'all, he is. He's feeling pretty zen. So he said the last couple of months is unlike anything he's experienced. Carl is in his room saying the same thing. The last 2 weeks, the baseball game, all of that was weird. So on April 17th, that is when our beautiful Ciara got her glamour cover. And that is where these two are at this baseball game, trying to make everybody see them. And it's been a pattern ever since then. Ciara gets an announcement, Dancing with the Stars. We'll see them toasting each other wine on the streets of New York. Amanda gets, AB told us one of the other shows that she's going to do, hosting. We'll see them looking at each other, grinning. So y'all, it is a trip. Come in as you're coming in. We have just started, everybody. They're arriving at the reunion. I'm scandalized because these two are in a joint dressing room. No, not Kyle and Amanda, the married couple. Amanda and West TD, everybody. So just click the like button as you come in. And I also stopped to read some comments. So Zen, they have to run off to Italy. Thank you, AB, y'all. That's where they are now. So the reunion is airing, and they are over in Rome or somewhere else in Italy. I'm not sure the city, but they're over there. And believe it or not, I know the Bravoverse reaches over there. 7 likes, 16 in the chat. Bush Cappers, hit the like button. It helps the channel. Please and thanks. Thank you, Cece. Yes, thank you. I know some people are at work, or they're working now, or they're shopping. They might still be laying up, sleeping, whatever you're doing. Just click the like button for me. I appreciate it so much. Linda says, it's alleged that Amanda was expecting with child around December 24 and January 25, allegedly. Oh, Lord. Well, any child born within the marriage will be a child of the marriage. But when you out here throwing your little leg over somebody else, we don't know. Well, we know more than likely. Looking at her, she's not carrying out. She's very, very thin, which is something her husband mentions to her on the first episode of In the City. So they went to a Yankees game and pretend to kiss because Ciara had that glamour cover. And I'll have to show y'all a video where they did kind of like show media when she and Ciara was still supposedly friends. And Amanda was hating on this girl then. I don't know why our little sister didn't see it. She doesn't need a baby. American born, she does not. She does not. Her body, her choice. I don't want this for her, because what she is putting herself through right now, what the public's going to still put her through, and what West TD is getting ready to put her through, she doesn't need to focus on another human. Go visit Gemma and Lindsay and kind of adopt her as like a godmother. So KJ mentioned too, he caught it. He said the same day Ciara's cover came out. That's effed up. So KJ's the little bro, and he saw that. That's so embarrassing. And KJ was saying there was a Kansas City game that they were supposed to go to. And y'all, we find out that the two of them are in touch with various ones as far as texts and everything like that on the Summer House cast, except for I think the new girl said they weren't in touch with. They weren't out there yet. Levi, Bailey, they came on later. They made a pretty good showing. I think they belong and fit. Ben, I don't really like. So at one point, West TD, he's one of those social vampires. He's one of those people that doesn't have his own swag, so he has to latch onto somebody cooler and better, kind of like Amanda did with Ciara. So West introduced KJ to the show, and he's kind of in that role for KJ. There was a Watch What Happens Live that KJ was on with, I think it was Jamie Lynn. Was Jamie Lynn from the Tony Soprano show? Not Goodfellas, the Sopranos. And Wes ends up texting KJ. Now, KJ hadn't heard from him. And KJ's very fragile, y'all. KJ has lost, I believe he said his mom, Mia as well. And then KJ also is going to really open up about some of the mental challenges he goes through. We find out he spent time in the hospital. And his two sisters, I'm calling them sisters, his Summer House sisters, Mia and Ciara, checked on him every day, spent time with them. And y'all, it was because of self-harm. I should have said trigger alert, but my heart goes out to KJ. These two dogs, they took a very, very tight-knit group, and it caused real damage. So people online that are trying to defend Amanda, what are people acting like they're so upset? I'm more concerned with the friendship, the betrayal of her husband, and also the betrayal of her friends. So that's just how I feel. I'm going to read a few more comments and then we'll continue. CC told Linda Gamble, if true, do you think she knew who the baby father was? If there is no longer a baby, CC, I wonder if that's the reason there is no longer a baby. Some of these women are a trip. Poor KJ, it was heartbreaking hearing about his mental health struggles. Yes, AB, I love the way Andy handled him and also complimented him. And the Bravoverse, he's our little brother. We've taken him in our arms. He's our internet nephew. And it's going to help a lot of people. We're in a mental health struggle for the country, okay? And people like Amanda and West TD do not actually help. And Amanda has her own struggles. So I'm really upset at her callousness and her aggression, I said it, toward her friend. I don't like that. American Born says, just like Scandival, I think it's worse. Those two at least showed up, AB at the reunion, a little bit contrite and a little bit willing to take their licks. I mean, you don't have to lay down, but I think Amanda's a little too buck for what she's done. Now, West TD, he's over there. He can barely say anything. And y'all, I'm getting ready to drag him because he starts being disgusting in about 2.5 more seconds of me starting this reunion. CC, Amanda, Kyle, and West TD need to take a DNA test, allegedly. Ooh, they can't do it now, Linda. I don't think there is no baby. I don't think there is a baby. I looked at them in Italy. I don't think so. So Wes TD and Amanda sharing the dressing room. All the different people come in. They start talking. Andy starts doing the going to the different rooms. Ciara shows up, beautiful. He goes to Ciara first and check on her, just to find out, how are you? And Ciara is, how you're okay until somebody asks how you are. Y'all should get ready to start tearing up. And he's like, and he's doing that, poking his lip out and everything. So I was glad to see Andy check on her. I really like that. Kyle, he checked on Kyle. And everybody's kind of just talking to each other. This is the first that some of the group have seen each other, other than like texting and stuff, since this started. Everybody else is in shock. West is the only one claiming that he is so zen. I believe him, though. I don't think this boy cares about anything. Man, he's a grown man, but he's very bro, kind of disinterested type persona, and I can't stand people like that. Wes is trying to get Ciara fired from the show. Linda Gamble, I saw him on one of those podcasts. The guy had the nerve to ask him, well, who would you like to see not come back? He had the nerve to say Ciara, just to get the kind of awkwardness out of there. Hello, this was her job first, and the awkwardness is you and your dirty legs. That's the awkwardness. Dear Yvette says, I'm sorry, people keep coming in my office. Y'all stop interrupting dear Yvette. She's trying to listen to the Summer House reunion, recap, review, opinion, rants, and also engage with us. And why are they so busy on hump day? This is Wednesday. This is the day where you've probably got most of your work done Monday and Tuesday. You're getting ready to let things go kind of with the training wheels on the rest of the week. And Wednesday, you just kind of woosah. Get out of dear Yvette's office. And American Born says, that just shows how nasty he is. Yeah, she aims that at Linda Gamble, but this is about Wes TD. American Born says, don't they know you got other more important things? Exactly. Right. David is laughing. I do not miss being in an office. People do not respect your space too much. So they are getting ready to start this reunion. Kyle says his stomach is turning, and everybody else is just trying to get themselves ready. So we see people getting makeup done and asking each other, how are you doing? How are you doing? Kyle's telling Andy, I've had better days. How are you feeling? Y'all, this is too much. I'm feeling for Kyle. I'm also feeling for Amanda. I mean, a little bit. Amanda doesn't know what she's getting ready to go into, honestly. Kind of a firing squad, which she deserves. But I will say this. I'm surprised that Wes is not sticking up for her more. Also, I didn't mention Andy asked Ciara, who do you feel more betrayed by? And of course, as women, we know that it is Amanda. And she says Amanda. So I hope this baby girl has actually taken all of what's happened to her this past summer and now, and realized that Amanda was never her friend. She was only there to kind of steal whatever shine she could from Ciara. And honestly, when we see what Ciara is dressed in, someone put somewhere on social media, what Amanda's dressed in, she's wearing something similar to what Ciara has worn before, down to that butter yellow color. So Ciara she's kind of ready. She's ready to rumble. She got a little choked up with Andy, but she's ready to come out here and defend herself. Bailey looked beautiful. American Born says, yes, they held them back from coming out. Everybody looked beautiful. Mia looked amazing. So Ciara, I also loved what she had on. I didn't realize when I kept seeing the look, I was like, why is her midriff out? It wasn't out. It was one of this fabric, it's skin colored. So there's fabric in the middle, it's skin colored, and she's wearing her ginger hair like Phaedra Parks just picked up. So that's gorgeous. That might be a new summer look. That looked really good. And everybody looked good except for Wes TD. Wes TD's wearing this. He looks like when homeless men, they try to go get a job and they go to one of these places that has suits. Wes snuck in there, and that's where he got his suit. Some ish kicking boots. They look dirty. He just looks disgusting. I did like Amanda's dress. I like that butter yellow. I like the silhouette. It was real flowy. But again, I seen Ciara wear something similar. So Jesse's telling the guys, there's a dick pic going around. All of the men have seen it. Kyle's even laughing. Now, I think that this is a scheme that Wes TD set it up to come to us with the bullish. I have a spinning chair, but I won't spin around like our sweet Aunt Bertha. And let me get few more comments and then we'll continue before they come out. American Born saw it too. Amanda was always jealous of Ciara. Yeah, if I can remember, I will remember. I'm going to show a clip. I'll make myself a note. I think West TD is gay or is a sociopath. He could be both, J-Vet, because he kind of seemed to relish the attention. And a lot of those games they play, he always dry humping one of the men. I vote sociopath. AB says she has her voting for sociopath. I'm thinking both. AB says all the ladies look beautiful, but Amanda, in my opinion. I thought Amanda looked good. I mean, I liked her dress. Did y'all see how he looked at Ciara when she walked out and Amanda looked at the pic? Disgusting. Dear Yvette, this man is just terrible. TNTG Bob is laughing at AB. AB said everybody looked good, but Amanda. No, I don't. I feel like she looked good. She's laughing back. So the dick pic, I think that it is something to throw people off. Again, he's in marketing. They're laughing about it. Ben, and it's another reason I don't like Ben. Ben is still this man's friend. And how could you trust a friend like that who was sleeping with his friend's wife before they even get divorced? So West is, they all come out. Everybody comes out onto the stage. When Ciara came out and she walked past that couch, she didn't look at or speak to any of them. She walked past that couch. Why is West looking at her bottom? I didn't like that at all. That was really tacky to me. And everybody noticed it too. AB says yes. And you know, when Amanda saw them making out that last episode, he got in trouble with her. Absolutely. And then we find out that Ciara has slept over 2 times during the fall. This is when they were in the thick of it. So that's another reason why I know that Amanda is lying, because she wouldn't even be upset about them kind of dipping their foot back into their relationship. If she's not messing with him, why does she care? And then Amanda's doing that thing she does. Like, oh, we're going to get ready and go out here. Like she's kind of walking out like a lamb to slaughter. So she has picked up everything about Ciara, even down to her dress. Again, I've seen that look. Carl is saying this is going to be the toughest reunion that he's ever seen. And Kyle saying this the same thing. Then they start showing us film. What Kyle was saying, he's bottoming out. Kyle's looking good. He's looking younger. He's transferred those years to Amanda because Amanda's looking a little bit stressed. I'll say that. And so we see they all come out. They all have a seat. And I don't think they prepped for this reunion. I really don't, because the way the two of them were acting, I was kind of shocked at how they were acting. Kyle and Ciara, of course, are sitting together on the one side of the couch, and then Lindsay's on the other side, kind of group A. And then on the B side of the couch, we got Amanda, West TD, Carl's over there, KJ sits down there, Jesse's over there. Now, Jesse they're referring to him as the Tom Schwartz of the situation. We're going to find out later that he was lied to. He doesn't know what's going on with the two of them. And also West TD has another girlfriend in St. Louis, Misha, something like that he's still dating. So Amanda, you're going to end up looking stupid for this boy. Man, so she's over there in Italy with him now, but he's just trying to save face. I don't think he wants to dump her this quick. But I think she's going to miss her friendship with Ciara more than anything else. I think her and Kyle were on their last legs anyway. So again, I thought Amanda would walk out with a little more trepidation, but she's not. She's kind of ready to rumble too. She's kind of ready to rumble as well. West, to me, is being a little more cautious because he's waiting for the audience to kind of jump on him, and they will. And let me see. Let me scroll through some of my notes. All right, so Ciara sits down in the chair or on the couch. And we hear from West. West is saying that, oh, by the way, my phone was hacked and there's been a picture of me leaked. Amanda's looking shocked. Again, they haven't discussed this. I think he leaked it. And then the guys were kind of laughing. I didn't like that. There was nothing to joke about. The guys were kind of laughing at it. And then I think Jesse said, oh, it curved to the left. West looked at the picture and said, that's me. And Amanda looks over her shoulder like, I haven't seen it. Looked over his shoulder. And they agree that's West. The way they were laughing and stuff, the other side of the couch, Kyle, Ciara, Lindsay, that group looked disgusted. And the camera panned to Andy. Andy was none too happy either. I don't know what y'all are laughing at. You've blown up Summer House, and you might have destroyed In the City as well, because a lot of people don't even want to watch it. I'm watching and reviewing for content, but I'm really annoyed watching it. David says, I love KJ and the friendship and love the three of them have each other. I love that too, dear Yvette, because Ciara was by herself in that house for so long, surrounded by people that are, if not open enemies, undercover ones, treating her like the little pet. And she's putting together all the parties and happy-go-lucky. Meanwhile, her biggest op is pretending to be one of her friends. AB says, because she has never taken accountability for anything. And you can tell. You can tell. So Maya's looking beautiful. She's in a white vintage type gown. Carl, of course, is looking good. Jesse, Ben, I don't care for Ben. Ben's good looking enough, I guess, if you like that type. Lindsay is a lady in red. She looks gorgeous. And KJ's in a summer white suit that looks really good on him. I like that. Then Kyle looks good. Kyle's looking good. Kyle is looking young. KJ and Jesse are all the way down on the couch. And then one of the ladies were saying that her friend was listening to Jesse's song all summer, and he was like, oh, it made it all the way to Idaho. So they were just having like a little bit of crosstalk. And let's see, Amanda had come in, and nobody said anything when she came in. That was a little awkward. I'm sorry, I kind of like mixed the things up. So the picture happened, of course, after that. But Lindsay finally spoke to her. She was like, I like that butter yellow. And then Kyle says, yeah, it's pretty. So I don't know. I didn't mind them not icing her out, because if it's true, and Kyle believed that there's something with her mental, then of course I don't want her to sit up here and be bullied. But Amanda's gonna have to answer some questions. And then West, he is such a Neanderthal. Andy says to him, well, do you have any sweat guards? Yeah, I put 4 of them. Amanda, you want a man that needs 4 sweat guards just because he's in a formal suit? This is disgusting. And he's nervous. Now, remember, he's Zen, but when he sits down, he's doing something with his lip. And Amanda said, don't do that when you're answering questions. So these two are not prepared. I'm telling you, Amanda, you should have taken some of that money and gotten you a crisis manager, because this is too much. David said, I never liked Amanda. Even when Danielle said that she was a snake, it was true all the time. Dear Yvette, we should have known, because Danielle's a snake as well, and it takes one to know one. So I wish we had known at the time. She just always seemed like a victim to me. And Ciara's gonna, at the end, that was kind of the last bomb Ciara dropped on her, that she is a victim. So West, he's talking about this dick pic. They're kind of laughing a little bit. They need to be careful of him, because I think that he's gonna try to make everybody basically forgive him and make up with him. Like AB is saying, he's already running around on this podcast. Cece says, why can't Bravo get new reunion hosts? I'm sick of Andy's mug. I am too, Cece. He knew that all eyes were going to be on him because of the gravity of this reunion. Again, they have a very lucrative summer house, 10 seasons in, and then a new show they've invested a lot in the city. So he came up ready to work. He really did. But I'm like you. I want to see new faces at this point in time. I really do. So the side of the couches, they're kind of talking to each other. West is laughing about this, someone hacking his phone. I don't believe it. There's a nude of him going around Missouri. So that was a good text to get right before the reunion started. And Andy said, wow, when it rains, it pours. Y'all, I don't think Andy believed him. And Amanda, I didn't get the picture. So that's why they had to show it to her. I think that West did that to himself. Y'all, I was looking at Amanda's wrist, bangles. She's iced out. Amanda, what do you want with this bum? West can't do anything for Amanda like her parents or Kyle would do for her. This is just, Amanda, she can't leave right now because she doesn't want to hear I told you so, but I think he'll probably end up breaking up with her. So they're talking about these stinky, nasty, dirty dick pics, and he's acting like he doesn't know anything about it, but he's laughing about it. So West, I do think that you did this. So Andy and the other couch are just looking. I'm doing the same thing. Ben is his last ally, and Ben even looked a little bit annoyed. So I don't like some of the joking that goes on in it. this event. Ciara's sitting up there hurt. Kyle is hurt. So I don't like this. I don't want them joking. I want y'all to get ready to get it on. So we're gonna see Ciara's got a lot of things coming up. So I'm happy for her. I saw a scary movie promotion that she's doing with the Wayans brothers. She's got some other kind of commercials she's doing. Dancing with the Stars, of course. So I think she's bigger than the show. I don't care if she doesn't come back to Summer House. But if she wants to come back, I hope she does, because West TD is sure not the one that's going to get to tell anybody whether or not they get fired or not. He's got a lot of nerve. Okay. Oh, one moment. I need to turn this camera off one more moment. My notes just stopped again. I apologize for that. And then if there's any comments, I'll read those before we get started again. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm still here, everybody. I'm just looking up the rest of my notes. And then we got Jesse and Carl. They're kind of like already smirking, because as everyone comes out, and then West is, I don't know. I think West probably prepared a little more than Amanda and decided that he wasn't going to say too much. And that might have been the best strategy, but I think Amanda is ready. Amanda is ready to defend herself and her relationship, which I don't think she has a relationship. You're somebody else's wife, so this is kind of crazy. So Andy starts off the reunion, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just putting these notes in here so I can read them. If I don't have them in there, they're too small and I can't actually see them. She was always a Debbie Downer to me, David AB says. I think that too. I don't like anybody that's with that sad sack stuff all the time. Good morning. What's good about it? She just wants people to feel sorry for her all the time and defend her, and is always acting like Kyle is doing something to her, when we find out that she's just as instrumental in what's going on with their marriage as anyone else. Okay, let me see. I've loaded these new notes. All right, let me play this first. This will help me while I'm finished. I'm trying to find my place again. So while I do this, I'll let this play.
That's your wife. She's not my wife.
Ciara, when and why did you first suspect that something was going on between West and Amanda?
First date would be January 17th, because I went to call Amanda to invite her out to drinks with me and Mia, and her location was at West's house. And so
look at her. Look at Amanda. Okay, that is not where I needed to be, but that's okay. Did y'all see Amanda and how she was looking? That's not where I needed to be, but that's all right. Y'all see Amanda and how sneaky she was looking? Again, I think she needed a crisis manager, because she was not ready. She was not ready. So we're going to start with Andy. Andy saying, first, I want to say hi to the housemates. I want to start with you. Hi, Ciara. And then he said, you look incredible. This is something that nobody on earth would be surprised about. And of course, we expected it. You've gotten a wave of support and love. And more than anything else, congratulations on Dancing with the Stars. Are you excited? And she's like, congratulations. Well, thank you. Yes, I am excited. And everybody kind of claps. They pan to Amanda. Her and West give the littlest claps ever. They are not excited about what's going on with Ciara. They look to me a little bit jealous. Wes is looking down, biting his ashy lip. And then he says to Kyle, Andy says, I thought that you were going to be the biggest problem on the couch. I thought you were going to be the villain of the season. And how does it feel? And Kyle says, well, I came in ready to be that. It's a little bit bittersweet that I'm not, but I'm ready. And Andy goes through speaking to everybody else. And it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit awkward. He turns to Amanda and speaks to her. And Andy says, we've watched long-term relationships fall apart in real time. Some are crystal clear, and one jaw-dropping new beginning has left the housemates and the entire Bravo sphere with a lot of questions. And then the camera pans to the different cast members. Wes was looking a little bit excited. He was kind of deadpan to me throughout most of it, but he looked excited while Andy was kind of introducing everybody. And Amanda she was kind of weird. Different times she looked a little nervous, and then at other times she did, to me, look like excited as well. I don't know if she wanted to just get it over with or what it was, but we know, of course, they've come here to explain this stupid timeline, which doesn't really mean anything to me. So when he turned to Amanda and kind of asked her how everything was, Amanda, how are you feeling? And Amanda says, I'm prepared. So she's a victim already, everybody. We know she was going to show up like this. She said, I want to explain to everyone, hopefully just be able to, they will know where I'm coming from and maybe take a little bit of accountability and let everyone know what went on. And I want to especially, to Kyle, to Ciara. And Ciara turns to Kyle while Amanda is still talking. And she said, I'm glad she could say our name, finally, right? And everybody's gasping. Lindsay is looking shocked. The guys are looking at each other like, oh my gosh, here we go. And Amanda said, what? And that was my first cue that Amanda's kind of here for some BS. So Lindsay is all of us right now. Lindsay is like, I'm ready for it. I thought that Ciara's going to be out there crying, but Ciara she's kind of ready to rumble, and I'm glad to see it. So Amanda said, what? And then Ciara stepped on her moment, which I'm happy that she did, because Ciara's the showstopper, Amanda, not you. And she's going to talk whenever she wants to talk. And guess what? We're going to listen. So we get a freeze frame of Amanda who's looking pissed. And when she said what, Ciara answered her, I'm glad you could say our name this time. But y'all, her little leg was shaking a mile a minute. And so that was kind of a tell, like she's nervous. But I'm okay. I can't imagine what she was going through. The statement did not mention them. It didn't mention Ciara. It didn't mention Kyle. It didn't really mention the housemates, just that, feelings arrived and all this kind of bull. So Andy turns to Wes and he says, well, Wes, your first reunion 2 years ago, I got to say, you kind of itched the bed a little bit. How is this reunion going to be a little bit different? So Wes TD starts giving his marketing answer. I think there's a lot to be explained and a lot to share that could hopefully clear up a lot of like the wildfire of what this. Shut up, Wes TD. Shut up. Y'all, this is a marketing answer. We do not care. Andy starts to go down the couch, speak to everybody else. We're not going to do this with Wes at all. I'll give Amanda a little bit of grace because I think she's getting it worse from the Bravo verse. And I understand why she is the married one. But West, to me, West is the worst. He's disgusting. So that's all I got for West right now. Lindsay is making one of Gemma's faces. And Andy says, well, can you confirm or deny that you're a mess? He's talking to Carl. Carl is acting like somehow he is more a part of this breakup than everybody else. But I understand Carl's feeling. Carl is the type of man, he seems like he doesn't want to see anybody get hurt. Kyle is a little more, Kyle's hurt too, but he also has Amanda to be concerned about. And Carl is just, his feelings are raw for everybody. He's like, I'm just nervous. I'm anxious. And Carl's just letting everybody know this is a problem. Hey, Jesse. Jesse's like, hey, how are you doing? Good. I'm very sad. I've been sad all the way over here. I don't know why. It just kind of hit me. I feel like a friend group is fractured and it's sad. I hope we're not like mourning the loss of what we have. I hope we can come to some calm ground and move forward the best way. Jesse, shut up. This is crazy. This group is blown up. It's because of your friend, Wes TD, and Amanda, because she can't keep her legs crossed. And I think it's ridiculous. He says, hi, Bailey. Bailey says hi. So Bailey was out there. I thought he brought her out there later. Spoke to Bailey. Maya, you look fabulous. You look gorgeous. Hi. Tell me, what do you think Rihanna would say to you? Y'all, she met Rihanna. She's been talking about it ever since. What do you think advice Rihanna would have for you? Well, when I met Rihanna, she told me I'm a bad bee. And I think that she would say that to me today. So everybody's smiling at Mia because y'all, Mia is just, she's one of those people that when she's on and she's happy, she makes everybody else on and happy. So even Ciara is smiling down the couch at Mia, KJ smiling at her, everybody is. Brianna is like the godmother of Bravo. She got all these people just looking for her approval. Y'all, she unfollowed Amanda, and I know Amanda had a fit. So not Amanda from Beverly Hills. She unfollowed Amanda. Excuse me, I got to turn this camera off again. Not Amanda from Beverly Hills. She unfollowed Amanda from this show after Amanda got caught cheating. Now, Beverly Hills Amanda has let everybody know that bad gal Riri has also said she wants her back. But allegedly, she didn't get an offer back. I don't know if that'll change things or not, but we will see. Next, Andy gets through all of the greetings, and Andy finally says, let's talk about the elephant in the room. On March 24th, 2026, y'all, that was just a couple of months ago. That was this year. I asked Wes about those rumors on Watch What Happens Live, and he denied it. He was sitting next to Simone Sanders. She's a political strategist. I think she still has a show on MSNBC. So Simone, she's messy. She was like, but we all knew that Wes was lying. So then on March 31st, there was more speculation released because this joint statement of this little romance, and to me, it's not a little romance. It's not a romance at all. I find the whole thing repulsive. So every time they came on Watch What Happens Live, they were actually lying. We find out they were lying throughout to all of their friends. And then there's speculation that January 17th, he asked Ciara, when do you feel like it started? And Ciara says, well, January 17th, I texted Amanda to see how she was. Now, remember, y'all, this whole time, because of what went on in Summer House, I think the last few episodes they had Kyle yelling in her face and Wes feeling like he's got to protect Amanda from Kyle, and the whole house kind of piling on Kyle as this terrible husband, yelling at him. Meanwhile, his wife is out here cheating with one of the people in the house. But none of us knew that. American Born was watching. She knew. Lynn Gamble knew. There were people that knew, but none of us really knew. So that makes this whole thing more terrible. Ciara says she went to text or call Amanda to check on her January 17th, invite her out for drinks with her and Mia, because they're all in the city, they're all in New York, make sure she's okay. And Amanda didn't answer her. Now, they had all, as young girls together and friends, they share their locations. When they're in the city, they share locations. Amanda ended up, her location was at West's house. So Ciara thought, that's a little funny. So Mia, why don't you contact her? So Mia puts all of them in a group text, and that is when Amanda answers. And Amanda was like, when you called me, I answered. She's going to lie right in front of the face. Ciara said, no, you didn't answer until Mia put you in the group text. Amanda's sitting over there shaking her head. She's lying. No, I answered you in 30 minutes. And then they get this back and forth about when Ciara initially called, whether or not Amanda answered. And the group want to know, well, why would you be at West's house? And Amanda starts trying to speak over Ciara, and Ciara says, okay, I was speaking. Why would you be at West's house? And she's saying, I was with Wes because Wes was with me all summer. Y'all, Amanda looks so stupid. Ciara said, where was I? And where was I? And the group's like, oh, we really doing this. This is started already. So she was with Wes because evidently Wes was with her all summer. And when Ciara asked her, where was I? Where was I? Mia's like, yeah, where was she? Where was she? The group's looking at Amanda like, where was Ciara? Because we've watched Ciara take up for this girl for a decade. I'm not discrediting that you were with me. I'm not discrediting that you have been with me so many times, but I'm with West. Something she said that was really stupid. Y'all, West is not saying a word. He's not saying anything. So Mia speaks up and she says, I find it interesting that you're prioritizing your friendship with Wes over Ciara. And I agree with her because she has known Ciara longer. Ciara thought that they were closer. Everybody thought that they were closer. And she just met Wes a couple of seasons ago on this show. She said, I was living on my own. This is Amanda. I was separate from my ex. I was trying to prioritize myself, trying to go out. Now, again, Ciara was asking her out to go out. So she's lying. So she's acting. She wants people to start getting on her side a little bit. Ciara saying, no, you were breadcrumbing everyone, meaning she was putting out little clues to the audience, and she was. Ciara says, you weren't just hanging out with us, girl. Stop. Amanda is yelling. Amanda was very aggressive. Amanda, why are you yelling? Because you have a lot to answer for. I don't post every time I go out. I go out with a lot more people than just you guys. I have more friends than you guys. Kyle spoke up and said, yeah, West friends. And then I think Amanda told Ciara to F off. And Ciara said, shut the F up. So y'all, I was kind of shocked at that. And Ciara said, I don't see your man sticking up for you now. And Wes is just sitting there like he's watching the baseball game, y'all. He's just sitting there. And Kyle even had to take Ciara's hands. And Wes still didn't move. He crooks his neck to the side like he's watching something. So then Andy tries to kind of cool things down. And he says, well, Jesse, people are comparing you to Tom Schwartz in the situation. We know that's from the whole Scandival thing from the Lisa Vanderpump show. What's your response? Did you know anything? Jesse saying, I didn't know. I spoke with Amanda. I sat down with her. She denied it. She told me it just wasn't true. I talked to Wes. We would be out. I would text him. We would be out together. And I would ask him, what's going on? There's so many rumors. And he told me it just wasn't true. Y'all, I felt sorry for Jesse at this point because Jesse clearly, he's in the dark. And I know he felt betrayed as well. The whole friend group. So I'll go through and read some of these comments and we'll start like a crosstalk about what's going on here. Okay, we never liked Amanda. New host. I'm with Cece on the new host thing. Debbie Downer. I wish they would as well. More agreement on the new host. Andy needs to be put on pause. Go ahead. Put him on pause. That's what Rena said. She's yet to be back to Beverly Hills. But NBC Universal still likes her because I thought she was good on Traders. Dear Yvette says, and she always talks about the mental health, and she's the main reason why she's a sociopath. American Born is laughing. I agree, dear Yvette. Mental health is real. It is true. I have the utmost respect when people share that. But we got to be honest about the fact that someone can have a mental health issue from whatever age, and that doesn't mean that they don't know how to manipulate and use it to their benefit. And that doesn't make anybody a bad person when you recognize that. So even Kyle is like, I want us to kind of be a little compassionate for Amanda's mental health. Ciara has mental health concerns as well when it comes to this. And she also was on Carl's podcast mentioning, I think she said that at one point she was on Prozac. KJ, he's in a friend group that has embraced him as family. And now they're almost breaking up. There's dishonesty, betrayal. So there's more mental health for us to be concerned about than just Amanda's. American Born says it. She uses that as an excuse, dear Yvette. Yeah, and American Born, it's not a bad thing for us to recognize that. I don't like when people do that. American Born says Lindsay tore into them as well, and she was right about Wes. Yeah, once Lindsay got started, she couldn't stop, and I didn't blame her. Because Ciara was very emotional. She wasn't crying or anything, but she was cussing both of them out. AB says if the roles were reversed, we all know Amanda would have torn into him. Exactly. I wish Ciara would have dated Jesse. Dear Yvette, at the time, but Wes was being so dishonest, kind of acting like, well, maybe him and Ciara would get back together and Jesse shouldn't break the bro code. But now I want Ciara to date outside of that house. I think she's bigger and better. I've heard people always drop in there, well, Ciara should date Kyle and get back with him. No, I don't want that for my little sister. I want her dating outside of that house at this point. But yeah, Yvette, Jesse would have been a much more decent, serious person, I think, for Ciara than this dirtball she ended up with. AB says, Jesse, I'm sorry. You're still in touch with Wes, so shut up. I think he's one of in the bro before Garden 2 squad. I really do. We know Ben is. I like Jesse, but I don't like that they're being so soft with Wes. Ew, she can do better than him, AB said. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I want her to move outside of the house. Now, if they were going to date, kind of rub it in Wes' face before she ever got back with Wes, because y'all, during this reunion, Ciara, what is wrong? We find out she fell back down in the bed with him at least 2 times during the fall. And this is when he's in the thick of it with Amanda. Amanda looks so crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, Snuffleupagus, he did. He did. And West just sat there like, I thought it was once. Ciara said, no, I spent the night twice. So I didn't mind Amanda getting her face cracked over that. AB says, yes, he really has a major crush on her. And I can't blame him for that. Yes, Ciara is an absolute doll. She's so funny. She's so sweet. She puts together all of those parties and stuff. She's friends with everybody. I just think Ciara is great. And she was always too good for West. And I think he was never serious about her. He just wanted to humble her and use her and get a little bit of her shine, like Amanda. 10 likes, 14 in the live. Thank you, everybody. Just click down the like button, even if you're in the bushes, and I appreciate it. I hope they bring up the fact that Amanda was caught and photographed at his apartment. AB, that's why she said they came out, because somebody took a picture of them, an intimate photo, which I think that's kind of creepy. Why are you looking in these people's window? But then again, why don't y'all pull your blinds down, especially if you're cheating? I saw that. Yeah, they mentioned it. Amanda mentioned it. That was why they came out. And then she forgot about that line, says that was the first time we were intimate. So what were they taking a picture of? If you're at your friend's house and he's comforting you because your husband's dogging you out and all this kind of stuff, even though now she's ignoring the girl's message when they text her, but she's over here at West's house. I kind of think she wanted Ciara to find out, really, to hurt her even more. So I don't know. Which came first? So you've written this statement because the people have taken this picture, but you didn't know that they were taking this picture. So y'all, that doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think Amanda realized it didn't make sense. AB says Amanda was loving earlier in the season. Everyone had her back against Kyle, though, wasn't she? She was. I remember that night they were sitting at the table and they were all rightfully giving it to Kyle. When they zoomed in and focused on her face, y'all, it was really creepy to watch her be so excited to see her husband attack. 9 likes, 15 in chat. Thank you, Linda Gamble. So glad that people are really love Ciara. She deserves so much more, and she's beautiful. Yes, and Amanda was always jealous. She was an ICU nurse during COVID, and she was modeling before that. And she has a great mom. That comes up too. She came to North Carolina. She was able to buy her father's childhood home. She also grew up in the home, so congrats to her. And then Andy had to turn around and ask West TD about it. We don't care what West TD thinks about that. Well, I'm really glad that happened for her, but we weren't in touch at that time. Shut up, West TD. I can't stand when he talks. But I can't stand when he sits there looking homeless either. Right. Why would she be in a t-shirt and panties from what we've heard? American Born, thank you. If she's debating whether or not to go out, why are you in this man's home half dressed? Why you don't still have your street clothes on? We saw her come home into her and Kyle's home. Her and the dog sat on the couch in their street clothes. So it's not like she comes right in and strips down to a t-shirt and panties. Why won't Kyle and Amanda just get divorced? See, I think there's some things going on as far as the business, Loverboy, and also Amanda's trust fund. So there's money involved. You know, when there's money involved, they're not going to hop, skip to it. But I don't know why she's acting like she's free and single. She's not. She's still very much married. I think it comes down to assets, I'm sure. Yeah, American Born is giving the same answer that I was giving while she was typing. So Ciara, and there's some crosstalk as to why Amanda doesn't answer for them, but she's allowing West to be there for her. And then they were still talking to Jesse. Jesse is being lied to by both of his friends, and he just didn't know. He was kind of blindsided. Also, at the same time, it was mentioned, Javette was saying, well, why didn't she just talk to Jesse? West is kind of reassuring him that, you know, there's nothing going on between him and Amanda, but also kind of leaving it out there that there's a chance that he could get back with Ciara. Now, we saw that during the season. And so the group is kind of looking at that side of the couch. West TD says, I take full accountability for that. It's not cool to do that to your friend in general, no matter the case. Lying to people that you care about is not okay. Y'all, I think that West TD sat down and wrote his answers down, but he didn't help Amanda with hers. So he feel like it's not right to lie about who you are in your life. And just, yeah. He's doing a lot of yakking. So everybody's sitting there looking at him. They're not really giving him any points for that. And I don't think they should give him any points for that. So I think Ciara was yelling at him. She did. She started saying, "You've been here 3 years now. I don't think anybody really truly knows who you are. You live a different effing life off camera than you live on camera." Ciara was on a roll. So I was saying, "Get it, baby girl." She was like, "That's the reason why nobody can really know who you are. You had a girlfriend, Miha. Amanda, did you know about Miha?" Well, that is a girlfriend. And this fool sits over there and says, "Well, I didn't have a girlfriend, but I was seeing someone." And Ciara says, "You said you were exclusive. She spent the night with you." Y'all, the camera, it's a good cameraman. He was like back and forth. So the camera, when she was saying she spent the night with you, Amanda didn't know about this. And you could tell she didn't know about this. And Wes was not looking at Amanda. He was just looking ahead. Now, he doesn't claim this girl either. She's in Chicago, I think it was. So Lindsay, honey, she reaching behind her dress to pull out a phone with receipts, proof, timeline, freaking everything, y'all. This was a mess. And she says, "Well, March 24th, something about March 21st. And then he said, "Oh, Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, she's the one. She brought me the tie." So they go back to this ugly horsehair tie that he's trying to get attention over because it was made out of a real horse's hair, y'all, which I found really disgusting. I don't like that kind of stuff. So Amanda was looking down. I didn't feel bad for Amanda, but I was saying, "See, Amanda, when you cheat with the cheat, this is what you get." AB says, "I also love that Kyle's company, Loverboy, has gotten the support of people that have revived his business." Yes, AB, he was almost out of business. He almost had one of those Kelly grand opening, grand closing. 10 likes, 10 in the chat. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for making the likes match. Did Kyle and Amanda get married on the show? I have seen pictures of their wedding, but I'm not sure if it was actually on the show. I'm like, Cece, I love when the receipts come out. I do too. So Lindsay's looking at the phone and she's saying that you were cheating on people. You didn't care. We had a whole conversation about it. So with me, Mia says, "Amanda, what are you doing? You were married. I'm not saying that your relationship was perfect, but you went from being a whole married woman to Kyle to being one of West's side bees." And everybody's like shocked. Again, when somebody like drops a real truth bomb on them, the people get shocked, but I wasn't really shocked. I was okay with Mia for saying that. And I feel like as a friend to Ciara, that absolutely was her place to say that. And I think Amanda needs to see like what it is in her face, because West TD is clearly lying to her. Dear Yvette confirms, yes, they did get married on the show. And I think, dear Yvette, after Amanda outplayed, outlasted everybody, she thought that this would buy her the favor of the fans, because we know how Kyle was as a husband, drunk all the time. And I don't like the way he talks to her. I don't like the way he talks to a lot of people. He had a big fight with Carl one night, called him a 6'5" mother effer, and compared him to Vagisil. Vagisil had to make a statement. They were like, "Thank you, Kyle. I don't think Kyle, Amanda, or Wes should be saved. They're all deplorable to me." So Cece has closed the door on him. She's taken the cloak of immunity off of everybody. Y'all know it's only on In the City because it's season 1. But again, I hate to have it covering Amanda. AB's laughing at Cece. I mean, she doesn't deserve any grace, but I feel like she's getting a lot more static from the Bravoverse than West TD is. And I feel like he is equally, if not more, responsible. I think he targeted her. I think he used one stone to just hit Kyle, who he's jealous of, and to also hit Ciara, who he's jealous of as well. And Amanda was in for it because she's sick of Kyle, and she's also always been jealous of Amanda. AB confirmed too. Yeah, they got married on season. I might have to go back and look at their wedding. They were showing a little bit of the wedding. Okay, so let me get back to my notes. So Mia yelled at her that she went from being a married woman to being one of Kyle's side, not Kyle, one of West's side piece. So y'all, that was a mess. And Amanda's kind of looking shocked. Ciara and Amanda are going to get into it again. Let me see where that was. So Andy's question, he wanted to talk about the statements. And Amanda's saying, well, there was a zillion reasons why we couldn't name anybody. I was kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. And Wes was chiming in saying something stupid. Well, there's so many layers to it. And Carl finally said, well, there's not enough layers to say, what the F are we doing here? But you still made a conscious decision to betray Kyle, betray Ciara, the whole house. And Ciara is saying, aren't you guys still legally married? I mean, have you even filed? And Amanda's saying, well, I've attended, I've retained counsel. And Ciara was just interrupting her. Well, then you're still married legally in the state of New York. Amanda had the nerve to say New Jersey, and Kyle laughed. It doesn't matter what state. You are married. You're legally married. Now she's out of the country with someone that's not her husband. And y'all, in the city is going to reveal to us, Kyle has been going everywhere alone. He went to a friend's wedding in Italy last summer alone. Amanda wasn't going anywhere with that man. So she been left the marriage. So then Ciara starts yelling at Amanda because Amanda says, just because we're not officially divorced yet, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to be celibate for the rest of my effing life? So nobody told this girl that she has to be celibate for the rest of her stupid life. What we're telling her is that you have to at least wait until you and your husband have some sort of agreement about what you're going to do with the marriage. Because in the city, this is another reason why I think Amanda's going to ruin this show. She is playing this role of the long-suffering wife. And she's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen with Kyle and I if we're still going to be together. And she keeps crying over them like she still wants them to have a chance to make things work. Now, we know that she's flipping in the ghetto on a dirty mattress with old West TD. So that's why I'm disgusted with Amanda. I'm almost like Cece. I almost don't want to give her any grace. But because of what I feel like, she's brought a lot of it on herself. I don't want anything like terrible to happen to her. I just feel like she's disgusting. So Ciara, her and Amanda are kind of yelling. So she says, nobody's saying that you have to be single, celibate until you sign the papers. But she said, out of all of the people, there's a million effing guys more, Ciara, a million other effing guys in New York City. You chose the one. And you know how that would F me up. You know how effed up I was about him, because Ciara did go through with West TD. She says, Amanda, you're a snake in the effing grass. Every time Ciara says a word and like points it, Amanda's taking it in like, and y'all, I couldn't like finish her. I couldn't do that. But Ciara was well within her rights to do that. You're a snake in the grass. You're a snake in the effing grass. You should honestly say it because you move silently, but you're effing deadly. Y'all, Wes is looking down, biting his lip. Kyle is kind of shocked. Lindsay's like excited. Mia, everybody's looking between Amanda and Ciara. Even Andy did not jump in. I feel like Wes should have took her hand or said something. Y'all, this man didn't do anything. He just left her out there to dangle in the wind. I feel like that should tell her this man is not for you. He's just not. He's not protective. At least Kyle was protective over her. When he wasn't yelling at her, calling her F and B, he tried to protect her. AB says, Amanda damn sure wasn't having bang with Kyle, was she? American born. Kyle was telling them men that it had been a long, dry summer. He said it, I think, over a year. I don't know. I think she started withholding from him. If Linda is correct about that timeline and maybe the end of 2024 up into 2025, Amanda felt like she had already moved on into a new relationship. Kyle might not have been getting it at home, but West TD absolutely was. Amanda was already sleeping with this man. None of us believe that they waited until this statement dropped the end of March 2026 before they finally got down. I don't buy it. Cece says, I don't want anything terrible to happen to anyone. However, call me graceless to people who do effed up stuff. Karma needs to spin the block on them, in my humble opinion. I can see where you're coming from with that, Cece. I agree with that. Because everything Amanda is going through is as a result of her own actions. I really feel like that. And she's trying to gaslight us. I didn't know I had to be celibate the rest of my life until a judge says so. Nobody told you that. Oh, long, tall. But like Ciara's telling you, there are a million other more than that, men in the city. We would have rooted for her with anybody other than this dirtball right here. Because I don't think he's good enough for anybody in that house, honestly. We need to do a watch party together for part 2. Jerry Vet, we got to plan something because sometimes I'll be wanting to talk while it is going on. I know we're Bravo and we're Black, something like that. She was live on Threads, but I wasn't watching it at that time. I was waiting for it to drop on Peacock. American Born says exactly to Cece. Yeah, they're in the finisher group. Finisher. But yeah, she brought that on herself. Ooh, that would be good, David. That is a good idea, David. So West is sitting there biting his lip, looking down. And Ciara saying, people were saying it was happening. You're denying it. I was testing you. You're not getting back. So somebody on the couch said, wow, this is happening. And they're getting into it. Andy says, what's going through your mind at this point? I don't know who Andy was talking to when he said that. What's going through your mind at this point? He might have been talking to Amanda because I put down Ciara keeps jumping in. Ciara says, we might as well talk about the details before I put them both in the ground and cover them with dirt. So Ciara's on her CC, maybe a little more. Ciara is saying, I came here to, she said, I came here to bury him. So I loved it because I don't know. I think Amanda thought that they would tiptoe around her feeling. And I think West thought if I could just get through it. And again, it's only part 1, but they're already knees deep in. So I loved it. And Andy says, well, even casual viewers of the show, did you mention, Amanda, that I don't know, people started thinking that something was going on. Who wrote the statement? Ciara said, Chat GPT. No, Chat GPT didn't write the statement. We got together and talked about it. And then she said, no, Chat GPT didn't write it because Chat GPT is a lot smarter than you. So Jesse was laughing. Carl, all the people. They get a question. Renee from Jacksonville said that, Carl, the public didn't go easy on you after your breakup with Lindsay and you stayed quiet. So when Amanda and West put out a statement, did you think it was the right move or unnecessary? Carl says, well, I feel like this was a terrible move, but if you're going to apologize, at least include Ciara and Kyle. I mean, I apologize privately to Lindsay. Lindsay's still over there making her Gemma face. Lindsay, are you ever going to forgive Kyle for you and him not working out? Now, Lindsay, I think, was too hot in the pants because if I were Lindsay, a man like Carl, I think I would have rather had Gemma with Carl rather than this random man. This man she had known, 2 weeks, 2 months, and then had a baby with him and didn't even last. American Born says the only good thing that Andy did was let Ciara and the rest of them go off. AB, I love that. He didn't try to I want to move on. When something was kicking off, he let it go. And because I think he was curious too. I think he wanted to know, okay, where's this going to go? And again, the people this morning all over social media, Ciara's doing too much. Ciara's being very aggressive. She's the angry woman. I'm not going to say what woman they were called. She's the angry woman. She's not an angry woman. This is her first time seeing this fool. This lady has ducked her, everything. She's texted her, called her. Amanda has dodged and weaved, and she has ducked Ciara. And this is the first time Ciara gets a chance to put her feelings out there. And I don't think she's out of line with anything that she did. When Ciara said that, she blew the wigs off. She sure enough did. She let him know, listen, we'll get to the details, but I'm here to bury you. And this is only part 1. And Kyle is sitting there looking because he doesn't know what to do. And Wes, them dirt kickers, they almost up in the dust. Where he get them ugly cowboy boots and to wear that with a formal suit? Nobody likes West TD. Sandra, we need one for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Linda Gamble, if I could figure out the logistics of it. I don't have a Patreon. I don't even have a membership. So it's easier when you do have that. American Born says, I agree, Linda Gamble. So the statement, they're asking Carl about the statement. And he was saying that, we wouldn't have put it out. And then I think it was Amanda. We put a statement out because we effed up. And I text Ciara separately. I text every one of you on the stage separately. New Girl was like, I didn't get a text. So they didn't text Bailey or they didn't text Paige, Levi. So Amanda, why didn't you? Honestly, they really hurt the whole house. So I don't know why they didn't text everyone. So Andy's saying, unfortunately, everyone gets dragged into this. And Amanda's sitting there lying. Well, adding the apology in the statement, that was authentic. But I was going to be attacked whether I did it that way or I did it individually. And West TD is still sitting there, y'all. I don't like how he didn't back Amanda up. I mean, it takes two to tango. Y'all definitely tangoed. long before this statement, and it's not just her. She's the married one, but he needs to say something. So she's saying that, we check the internet, and in one freaking night, everything that we do is under a microscope. I can't believe I'm having to go back and forth. West and I were very much friends. I'm sad. Ciara pulled out her phone, and she's showing where Amanda was actually lying in text. Like, I don't know where all this is coming from. West and I are just friends. Because Ciara was asking her, what's going on? Why do people keep saying that the two of y'all have something going on? And of course, watch what happens live. West lied to Andy's face. Andy, we need to know how you felt about that. And Amanda was lying to everyone's face. Amanda didn't apologize until the Bravo universe says she didn't put their names into their statement. Let's be honest. AB, that's true. That's why I said she needed a crisis manager from the beginning, because I don't know what she thought this statement was going to do. It just antagonized everybody, honestly. And I feel like Amanda still had like a little window of opportunity to be a little humble and be like, I messed up. I lost the friendship of my best friend and, my husband and all this kind of stuff. Throw West TD under the bus. He's sitting over there talking about, he's zen. He shouldn't be zen. If I'm on pins and needles, you better get on pins and needles too. All they care about is their own fame, in my opinion. AB, I think that West TD feels like he's going to come out with like a cute villain edit. He's going to be like a Tom Sandoval, where we say Tom Sandoval might be a crappy person, but he's not a bad guy. And we kind of forgive him, and we don't mind watching him on Traitors or House of Villains and that sort of thing. I don't think that West TD is going to have that type redemption arc. I just think people dislike him too much. As Ciara said, he's phony. He's not the real him before us. And for reality TV, we just can't forgive it. We know that there's editing and a certain amount of kind of massaging their image that goes on, and we kind of wink and look away. But you're not going to be 100% complete fake phony and act like KJ's your best friend and he's that dude. He used to hang out with all black guys. Where's the brothers now? I don't get it. I think West he doesn't have his own identity. He kind of just tries to throw things up the wall to see what sticks. And then whatever's going to make him the most popular, that is what he's going to do. And I can't believe Amanda wants to be with a phony person like that. I mean, Kyle has his challenges, but Kyle is Kyle. Kyle with the mullet is Kyle with the mullet. And now Kyle is still Kyle. And actually, I see a lot of growth in him. Linda Gamble says Amanda and West still getting dragged on the Bravo sector. Yeah, Linda, I don't think it's going to be as easy for them to move on as they think. I really don't. Tom has been on every reality show out there. He has AV. And when you see him, it's like, oh, here's Tom Sandoval. And even when he was on Traitors and he was so wrong and just so strange, he'd come in there dressed like Alan. You can only really chuckle at Tom because he is a mess and he knows it. But I don't think Tom really means to hurt anyone. West TD, I can't say that about. The way he looked at Ciara sometime during this, I don't know. Y'all, my notes, I think my notes are ending. I'll finish them and then we'll talk a little bit. And I'll have to go by memory based on what I saw. Because I saw disturbing things in West. I feel like he was getting kind of, he was a little excited at what was going on. Like he's the center of attention, but he's not getting all the smoke. Amanda's getting more of the smoke than him. And I had a problem with that. I don't like that at all. I don't know. Amanda may have a redemption arc. I don't like her, but there are people defending her and want to put her under their wing as this poor little broken bird. I'm not going for that, but there's a sector of the Bravo audience, whether we like it or not, they are going to want to kind of protect Amanda, especially when mean, scary Ciara starts yelling at her for no reason. And y'all know I'm being sarcastic when I say that. AB said, and Ariana's still thriving and doing TV shows and hosting jobs and now doing commercials with Ciara. I love that. Yeah, they are. That is the thing that the Bravo audience chooses who we can forgive, who we want to move on, who we want to be bigger than the show. And I don't think that's West TD. I just don't. AB says, I'm so happy for her. I haven't seen the Lifetime ones, but I'll look for them. At Linda Gamble. I can't believe Ciara let him touch her. This Ciara is her mom. When they showed the scene with her mom, they started talking about the house. We got to see her mom. Her mom is a down-to-earth lady. She's probably my generation. She's probably, yeah, she's young. She's probably in her 50s or so. I want her to talk to Ciara, and she probably is, but behind the scenes, like Lake's mom over on Southern Hospitality talks to Lake, but it doesn't get through Lake's head either. I think Ciara just had to go through this heartbreak and realize that, listen, everybody that presents as a friend is not your friend. She sees Amanda now as a snake with an actual face, and I'm so glad she sees it, but a lot of us saw it early on. I'm going to show a clip, and you'll get to see what Ciara should have saw years ago. Y'all remember when Lindsay was dating the black dude, Jason? He was on Winter House. She was pregnant by him. He was dating Jizzy, and he's from my hometown. Oh, dear Yvette. So she was pregnant by him. What was the result of that? Because Gemma is not this guy's daughter. I'll just put it that way. American Born says, and that nasty guy from Southern Charm, gross. Yeah, I don't understand Ciara. I don't understand Ciara. No, I didn't see that one. That's double. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Winter House didn't even make it. Y'all know who they had over there? They had old Jordan. Oh, mean Jordan from Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. I don't know why they put her over there. The DJ, she was always so miserable. I'm like, Jordan, where are you showing up to a DJ gig mad and crying and cussing people out? Linda said, American Born, she was in the movie GB produced on HBIC College. Who was that? Lindsay? Lindsay was in the movie? All right, let me see where my notes ended. I'm going to try to remember some of the other stuff, because I feel like I don't really have notes for the rest of this. Let's see. Oh, so they were still lying about. Oh, Ciara was saying, I was asking you, is any of this true? I was giving you every opportunity. And she was calling Amanda a liar. So now there was some type of video or tape that was coming out. And that's why now I don't really know what to believe about the time frame. But they were definitely going together and sneaking around behind everybody's back in Summer House. And I think production might have caught something. Maybe they thought that would leak. I don't know. So Amanda is yelling that she had other friends. And then Ciara saying, no, you had all of West's friends as your friends. And Kyle actually said that, yeah, that's true. So we feel like Amanda was already sleeping with West. They're still lying about it. Jesse was totally caught off guard. And that's why he's saying he's so sad about it, this kind of stuff. So Amanda is a little bit crazy. She's sitting there almost, she wasn't crying, but she was acting like she was kind of the victim. And Andy starts asking them like timing questions. When was your first kiss? He's saying the end of February, sometime after the brunch. They are lying. These people were screwing. I'm sorry to be vulgar, but they just are. That last summer in the house. That's just what I feel about it. And Linda would go further back and said even that last fall before then, 2024. And Andy said when the first time they slept together. They're still maintaining after that bogus statement. I don't believe that. And he says, well, there's a picture that came out March 1st. You guys were together. I think that's when they had the wine glasses. Kyle is with them, y'all. Kyle sitting up in the picture, smiling from ear to ear. And this man's he's sleeping with his wife at that time. So Kyle, I don't know. I don't know what Kyle's thinking. He's way too forgiving to me. So Wendy says, yeah, this is a good job. Let's clear this up. So they take a break. They bring one of the girls, Levi, out for fun. Andy wants to move on to some kind of light stuff. So Levi comes out. She said she didn't think that the guys were really into her in the house, but she did develop some friendships that were valuable. And then Bailey is talking. Her first time in the house, she said it was pretty unforgettable impression at dinner. But someone asked a question. They said, did Levi know, because her and Bailey are friends, that Bailey have a history of kind of flipping the mood at dinner? Because Bailey is an oversharer and she starts to kind of trauma dump. And Levi was saying, yeah, Bailey's been known to do that. So everybody's laughing. And she says, yeah, I try to just talk to people, and she does dump her trauma on them. And she actually has some kind of connection with Carl. But she said they're like a 10-year age difference. So Bailey, for some reason, I don't know when it jumped off, AB, but Bailey was dragging Ben. And she was telling him, I don't like the way you reprimand women. She was bringing up his girlfriend, Ciara. She's the one that brought out to the table that Ben said he wanted to F Amanda. So there were more people in the house. I think I heard Ciara say, everybody in the house was having a secret girlfriend. Amanda turned to West TD and started licking her thin lips. So I thought the whole thing was kind of crazy, but I was here for Bailey. I didn't mind Bailey being a little bit upset. Andy was looking like proud dad, like, where's all this coming from? Because he saved the newbies till last to kind of be able to change the topic a little bit. And Bailey was just jumping into it. I don't know what she was upset about, but it had something to do with Ben. And then also she was bringing up the fact that she liked Carl, but Carl put her in the friend zone. And oh, okay, dear Yvette. I was sorry to hear that. She had a miscarriage for that one. So that was from the Winterhouse guy. So maybe that's why she was on the rebound so quickly. Okay. That Gemma something else. She is the star over there on In the City, and all of her scenes make me laugh. AB says, oh, wow. Yeah, we didn't know the resolution of that. So that is why she got a rebound guy. And now she had, so I'm so happy. Gemma is her rainbow baby. I love it. Bailey was spot on with Ben. I don't like him. AB, I don't like him either. And the fact that he can still see West TD as a friend, knowing that this is a person that will actually betray you. I like Carl and Bailey. I see it too. And he's like, well, what's the age difference? She said, I'm 31, he's 41. And everybody was like, that's not bad. And it's not bad. She said, but he's in a different place in his life. He's really into his business. The girl, that's what you need. I didn't see a problem with it at all. But Carl, again, he put her in the friend zone. That baby Gemma has the best faces. She does. She is like a little Lindsay. She is adorable. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. I think it's tonight. I don't know if I will have the live review tomorrow or Friday. I'm thinking tomorrow. I'm aiming for tomorrow. So Bailey is saying that they hung out a couple of times and Carl's still trying to curve her. He's been prioritizing friendships and also a little bit of dating or flirting. He likes it nice and soft now. So Lindsay's making some kind of rude comment about that. Lindsay, this man don't want you. You had your opportunity with Carl. Carl wants Lindsay back. You think so? I think Lindsay wants Carl back. I can see it happening. They're both single now. And they are both in the city. So we'll see what happens. I don't know why they didn't add Carl to that show. On Reddit, the people say he's boring, but I don't see anything wrong with boring. You can't be running around drunk and falling down in the streets forever, especially in your 40s. So we find out that Mia had lost her mom. My heart goes out to both of them. I had my mom and dad until in my 50s. And so these young people losing their parents, I can't imagine navigating your life in your 20s without your parents. So Mia talks about it. The mood gets a little bit sad. KJ starts crying. They immediately reach out to put their hands on KJ because we know KJ has been through a lot. The mental, I think there was also substances involved, self-harm. He ended up in the hospital. Levi had just come out, and when KJ got a little bit emotional, she put her hand right on him. Yeah, this is a really close-knit group, and that's why old Longface and old West sit down there. They're just looking like, what's going on? Just crazy. I didn't like it at all. There's something wrong with both of them. So this was, it's kind of an extended review because, again, I watched it on Peacock, and with me watching it on Peacock, that was a longer one. So it was about an hour. And let's see. I think Bailey did a good job. I think Bailey's probably, and if there is a season 11, I think they'll keep the new people. I don't like Ben. But another thing Bailey was dragging Ben about is, and you don't mind flying up in women's face, but then when you're having a conversation with Kyle, I thought you two were going to make out. And production put the scene on where Kyle was upset that everybody in dinner had jumped him over how he was speaking to Amanda. And he and Ben were going to hug, but his lover boy hat was in the way. Ben took Kyle's hat off so they could get like a closer bro hug. So I find that really funny when Bailey threw that in his face, like you were acting like you were gonna make out with him. So I thought that was real. That was cute. I liked it. So then we will get to the last part of what Ciara says. We're gonna check one more time. Thank you, Linda Gamble. 11 likes and 7 in the chat. Okay, thank you so much. I want to get to this last part of what Ciara said where Kyle starts to get a little bit of compassion for Amanda because, like I said, Amanda, I didn't like her attitude, but even though she didn't have a leg to stand on, she was fighting for her life. Wes was doing a little bit of laughing. There was a scene they tried to make like a funny scene. We saw it on the show. He and Ciara made out. Now, we found out from Ciara, she actually spent the night with him 2 times during the fall. Amanda didn't know that. She was blindsided by that. They have made out. He was like, it's just some ear stuff. And Lindsay's like, ear stuff? What is ear stuff? So they put the camera up, and Kyle's like, well, yeah, I kind of like ear stuff too. He's kind of like nuzzling and all this kind of stuff. And Andy asked Amanda, well, what did you think about that? Amanda claimed she didn't know what was going on. But anytime Wes TD and Ciara interacted in that house, trust and believe, Amanda knew what was going on, and she didn't like it. So Amanda, stop lying. You did see it. You did know what was going on. Wes, honestly, I don't think he has feelings for Ciara like that. I think he looks at her more as kind of a jump off. That's just what I think. Ciara's a party girl. She's fly. She's funny. She's fun. And I think he will always look at her as that. I don't know if it's because of where he's from or whatever. Even though he took her home Thanksgiving, he was actually never going to be someone that would be serious about Ciara. I just don't see it. So Amanda's claiming ignorance. She didn't know any of this was going on. The ear stuff thing, he's trying to make a joke. Kyle made a really good point. Excuse the lawn man, y'all. Of course he has to show up now. But Kyle made an excellent point. He was like, are you breadcrumbing the audience? Because you do that. You know what gets people back on your side. And Kyle's right, because as let's throw something out silly, the guys will laugh, and then Kyle will kind of soften up a little bit. And I noticed that Wes does do that. Amanda doesn't really have the personality to be able to get away with that. So I was glad Kyle asked that. And he claimed ignorance, like, no, that's not what I'm doing. But that is kind of what he was doing. And let's see, we're going to add Ciara. I'll show you what Ciara says, which gets Amanda where she lives and kind of makes her upset. Amanda was able to, I won't say she was holding her own, because again, she didn't have a leg to stand on, but she wasn't laying down like giving up. Wes was a lot more quiet, and he didn't protect her at all. And then we hear in either 2 or 3, she's going to need a break and walk off. And Wes doesn't even go after her. Kyle was on Watch What Happens Live, and he was like, it took so long. I was wondering, well, should I go after her? He was on there with Lindsay. Okay, so Ciara says, this is toward the end. Maybe they'll be together because I honestly think that the best woman for Wes is someone who's not going to check him on anything. And that's totally Amanda. Like, she's very mute. She's going to be that weak figure that he needs, and he can be the star in the relationship. So I actually think that maybe it could work. Y'all, that is what Ciara said to the girl. And when she said that, every word that she was speaking, it was kind of like hitting Amanda, like where she lived. And Amanda was like, and then Kyle had the nerve to say to Ciara, that's a little harsh. And Ciara said, she's your wife. She's not my wife. Meaning like, I don't have to be cool to the B. So it was a little bit cringe, but again, what Ciara has gone through will allow it. I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind it at all. So let me see if there was anything else we will put up. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's one more part that I can put up that I did not put in the notes. And spot on. Good job, Ciara. American Born. Didn't she call her totally out? Because I think Wes did get jealous of Ciara when he sees how people love Ciara and how she kind of has that light and that aura. It's like Ciara's one of them people, like literally the party is here. Because she's the one that would set up all their parties and stuff. And I think Wes, he's kind of a big fish in a small pond in somewhere like St. Louis. But in some place like New York, he doesn't shine in New York. Sorry, he don't shine in New York. He's not good looking enough. He's not witty enough. He's not any of the things enough for a place like New York. So a lot of people sink or swim there. You know, the cutest one in your little town, you go to New York or LA is another place where they eat people up and spit them out. It just doesn't work. And I think that Amanda in her way and West in his way, both of them are jealous of Ciara. All right, so I'm going to, this was another part of the reunion. Ciara pulled out her phone, and Abby, you made a good point about Andy just letting them go. Ciara pulled out her phone. She's reading Amanda's text because the two of these fools showed up talking about timeline, receipts, proof, timeline, and they didn't really have anything. Amanda, you're still married, so we don't care. So, all right, this is where it says Summer House recap. Ciara Miller leaks her text with Snake Amanda, accuses West TD of having a girlfriend named Miha and calls him fraudulent. Plus, KJ opens up about his hospitalization for his mental health, and Ciara admits to sleepovers with West after filming. He tried to lie in their face and say once, and she was like, nope, twice. And that's the stupid look that Amanda gave. Shocked. She's shocked. I'll read a few comments, and then I'm going to find that last link. I showed it in an extras a few weeks ago, but I'll show it again for those that didn't see it. And for Ciara and the Ciaras of the world, you got to identify these snakes that try to befriend you, and they're really your secret opposition and your secret enemy. It's very dangerous. Ciara, girl, you lucky that this is all that happened to you. Someone says this reunion didn't do any favors to Amanda and West. At least Raquel and Tom looked remorseful and apologized on Vanderpump Rules. Raquel wasn't Ariana's best friend. The duplicity and lack of accountability is astounding. West having the audacity to be pissed at Jesse when he wanted to pursue Ciara is wild. We talked about that. He didn't want anyone to pursue Ciara. He's jealous. Paige told everyone West's first season reunion that he was a fraud. That's when Andy said, your first reunion, you kind of ished the bed, and West agreed. And he is determined, I think, not to do the same because you can't really get much out of him. I'm curious for episodes part 2 and part 3. Scamanda eye-rolling at Ciara and saying, F off. Has she lost her mind? She did. She said, F off. And Ciara said, you shut the F up. And Andy didn't stop either one of them. I was okay with it. So, y'all, the Bravo verse really is still on Ciara's side, as they should be. And let me find this clip that I have where we want to show Ciara why she should not allow people like Amanda in her circle. All right, let's see. Y'all, I thought that I had it queued up. I'm going to find it. I'm actually going to find that. Let me go off camera so I don't feel like I'm under pressure. Under pressure. Dave said, that pissed me off when he said that big dummy in my Fred Sanford voice. Yeah, I don't know what they think they're doing. I think they thought they had more of a leg to stand on than they actually did. Not enough West is a good descriptor. Exactly, Cece. He's not enough. Again, what he is in his little small town of St. Louis, it's nowhere near what he would be somewhere like, when you go to New York, you just have to glow up and step your game up totally. And Ciara's thriving. Amanda's not. I think she could have without a loser like West. Like I said, almost any man that she picked, I think we would have kind of congratulated her and been like, oh, okay, we see this. And I think it would have been okay. All right, so let me see. We pulled this up. We're going to, and again, I've shown this before, but I'm going to put this up here now. Ciara called the heifer out. Linda Gamble, yes, she did. Ciara called the heifer out. She sure enough did. And Ciara, I need you to now be able to have a better discernment when it comes to people like Amanda. All right, where is this? All right, let me take that down. And at one point, Kyle, when after that was kind of harsh when he told her that's kind of harsh, and she was like, well, that's your wife. He did tell her, Kyle was like, you have every right to feel how you feel. I'm like, yeah, she does have every right to feel how she feels. Don't check her. All right, here we are. Let me get this sound.
Own prosthetics,
Yeah.
her own makeup.
Oh my
really?
God.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
insane. Like
Well, she's a
what
nurse.
she can
She's
do
a
in like 2 hours. I'm like,
I like a little bit moderate coverage, no full ass cheeks out.
Oh, I love
Sorry, C.
I know.
Mine are a little too covering for Ciara's bottom, but no, yeah,
That's because I have no ass. Okay, like I can't have a full coverage.
This man right up under
Ciara is number one because she's a nurse.
I'm CPR certified.
you have the CLA.
She also does her own prosthetics,
Yeah.
her own makeup.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
insane. Like
She's a
what
nurse.
she can
She's
do
falling
in like
off.
2 hours. I'm like,
I like a little bit moderate coverage, no full ass cheeks out.
Oh, I love
Sorry, C.
I know.
Mine are a little too covering for Ciara's bottom, but no, yeah,
That's because I have no ass. Okay, like I can't have a full coverage bottom. I
they're
have
not
no
full
ass.
coverage. They just
Or
fit
a
you like full
moderate-
coverage.
Because I have no ass. Okay.
I just personally want you guys to stay on until Ciara gets married. That's all I want.
We may never
And I
see
can
the
be the
day.
officiate.
We may never see the day.
I was like trying to figure out who Ciara's dating. Yeah, I don't know. If
We
that
don't
would-
know.
Oh, be
Are you
careful, Ciara.
dating
It creeps
Ciara?
up on you. I love the fact that
stills.
when you come back this season, you're like, I'm going to be lighter. I'm going to be involved. I'm
I was
gonna
on
be
Prozac.
this. And
I still am on
you know what?
Prozac.
I
Yes, we
actually
Okay, there we go. Y'all see how crazy she was talking to Ciara? Everything that Lindsay or Dorinda tried to put up positive about Ciara, her friend Amanda would tear her down. Do you know she does all her own prosthetics? That's Lindsay. Where they were kind of falling off, there's Amanda. And Ciara sitting there laughing. I like full coverage, that's Amanda and Ciara. Well, I don't really have an ass. And then Amanda sitting there laughing at that. Dorinda said, I want them on the air until Ciara gets married. Amanda says, we may never see the day. Just poke, poke, poke. Poke, poke, poke. I found that picture. Let's hope it's real. Dear Yvette, yes, Ciara new man is fine. Yes, he is. They're confirming. Y'all, let me try to go ahead and pick this up and share it as quickly as I can. And it's dated as of 2 days ago, y'all. So we will see. Okay, here we are. Let's see. Let me put this. All right. Let's see. Okay. Ciara. Let me read this. Southern Charm fans' new post. All right, Ciara. Look at Ciara. Beautiful. It's 2 days ago, everybody. Okay, let me expand this, read this, and then we're going to end on this. We need a game plan, everybody. Like I said, I don't have membership where we could come in and like watch stuff together. Okay, so I want to go up a little bit. Summer House star Ciara Miller has officially debuted her new boyfriend after explosive Amanda, Bachelor, and West TD drama, turning a glamorous public appearance into one of the biggest Bravo talking points right now. The photos instantly sent fans into a frenzy as Ciara appeared confident, glowing, and completely unbothered while stepping out with a man who looked more than ready to claim his place beside her. What makes the reveal even more dramatic is the timing, coming months after the tension, rumors, and messy speculation surrounding Amanda and West TD that had already kept Summer House fans divided. Now with Ciara smiling, posing, and even sharing a kiss in front of the camera, the moment feels less like a quiet romance reveal and more like a bold statement that she has moved into a new chapter. As reactions continue exploding online, fans are already questioning how long this relationship has been developing behind the scenes and whether the public debut officially closes the door on all the old West TD drama. She does look happy with him. I don't know. Looks real, everybody. I hope that's real. I want that for Ciara if she's ready. But, Mia said, just jump right into a new one. But, that's what some of the people say. The best way over is to get under. So I don't know. I don't want Ciara to jump into anything. And certainly, sorry, Jesse, she's now got a date outside that house. Was that him, Linda Gamble? It's on IG. I follow Ciara on IG. I think that's him. Then, okay, thank you. I'll go look. I think that's him. Wait, isn't that her manager? Is that her manager? Oh, I wonder. Sometimes that happens. When Vanessa Williams, our forever Miss America, was going through with Penthouse, putting her nudes out, even though she didn't sign a release, she ended up marrying her crisis manager at that time. He was an attorney, and they stayed married for decades. She finally divorced him, and she ended up married to Rick Fox. They're divorced now too. But yeah, I could see that if that is the manager. Cece said, I blame Ciara for allowing to be played within her face. And do some of the Real House of Atlanta ladies need to teach reality show reading lessons? Yeah, they do, Cece. Ciara was doing pretty well, but there wasn't a lot that they could do. You're welcome, Linda Gamble says to American Born. So we can find the actual pictures of the boyfriend if that's not him. I believe it is, because on the fan post, they're saying that she's debuting him. Some people think that's the manager. I don't know. But Linda says you can find that on Ciara's IG. CC, Nene, and Phaedra need to give them tutorial on reads and shade. I agree, Linda Gamble. So y'all, thank you. Oh, this was under 2 hours. But again, I looked at the full 1 hour first parter on Peacock. So if you haven't watched it yet, please do that. I know we'll refer back when I review the second one. So they're stretching it out. They are stretching it out. CC says yes. Yeah, they do. They need reading lessons. The new ladies need to sit down with Nene. CC, thank you. Replay gang. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and let's hype this video up. Yes, everybody, let's hype this video up. Again, I'm doing In the City, and so you can join me for the live review. Look for me tomorrow morning. And as always, have a blessed day, everyone. I will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Have a great one.
I don't think that he's good for you. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good. That I don't.